Greetings to you all. Yeah, this is Doreen. So I'm back on our topic, temperaments. We have discussed different things. We talked about cholerics, we talked about sanguines, we talked about melancholics. Today we're going to talk about phlegmatics. So, but before we go to that, let's hear the summary about temperament. So, what is a temperament? Mm-hmm. So temperament or personality to what to some who call it is a special combination of qualities in a person that make that person different from others. Here we are talking about the personal behaviors, we're talking about the personal feelings and the way people think, So we are different. We think different, we feel different, and sometimes we think different. We behave different. Yeah, so we looked at cholerics. The we call them doers, the people who have energy in doing things, like they are really, really hardworking people. And then we talked about sanguines. Sanguines, we call them talkers, not in a negative way, but they love talking. It's one of the things that they enjoy in life. Like they would, they talk, they would rather talk, they love talking, they love fun, they love socializing, those kind of things. So we have melancholic, um, they're wise, analytical people, and very quiet. They're reserved people. So we call them thinkers. So we have also phlegmatics. Phlegmatics is the one we're going to talk about. So for them, we call them watchers, but most of the time they're peaceful people. They're people who don't want anything to do with like they don't want things to affect them to the extent that they feel uncomfortable. So they want a peaceful life in their entire being. So, so we talked about some being introverts and others being extroverts. We have extroverts, they're cholerics and sanguines. So what are extroverts? The people who express their emotions outside, the way they talk, the way they laugh, the way like if they're angry, you can easily tell. If they're excited, you can easily tell. So we call them uh, extroverts, externally. Things are done externally. Yeah, so we have also what we call introverts internally, like things are done internally. When they're angry, you can't easily tell. When they're excited, you can't easily tell. So that's a nature. There's nothing wrong with you, but once you know who you are and how to and if there's something to improve on, you improve on. That's the good thing of knowing the strength and the weaknesses of these people. So where you find yourself, you need to know your strength and your weaknesses. And when we talk about strength, we talk about where you're healthy. Yeah, we're talking about the area where you are healthy, and when we talk about the weaknesses, we're talking about the area where you are weak or you are unhealthy. So where you're sick and you need to improve. Okay. Yeah, so it's very important to know your temperament. It's very important to know how God has created you. We tell people that there's no temperament that is better than the other because we are created by God depending on the purpose that God has called us to do. So if I shared about Apostle Paul being a doer. So that is how God created him. And when it comes to calling, he was able to do a lot of work because of who he was, and he was able to reach many Gentiles. So that was a powerful nature of that man, and he was able to do a lot of things because he was a doer. And we looked at sanguine, and we gave examples of a sanguine who is example we gave. It was Apostle Peter was a talker, and you could easily see how he talked about, like if there were questions, he was the one to answer. If there were things to talk about, he had that flow very easily, more than the Johns, more than the Jacob, that kind of nature. Okay. So we talked about melancholic and we gave an example of Moses. Yeah, a man of God who was very reserved, very humble. Yeah, and he was a good prophet. And we talked about the most of the apostles, really they are doers. Um, yeah, we saw how Peter was a good evangelist. The sanguines most of the time they're evangelists. Yeah, so and the melancholics they serve well in teaching and being prophets. So we have pragmatics. And we're going to talk about pragmatics. But before we go, that is something I didn't talk about. It's when we talk about nature, we're talking about DNA. These are things that we get from our parents. They direct two parents, your father and your mother, and also from your grandparents. We're talking about both the maternal and the paternal. So the six people that you're connected to, they are those ones, your direct parents and direct grandparents. So yeah. So and we said that no temperament is better than the other. No. Okay? Nothing, you're not better than the other. No choleric that are better than the sanguine. And another thing to clarify, it doesn't mean we all have these, but it depends. There's one that dominates the other. Everyone can work, can do, right? Everyone can talk, everyone can think, and everyone sometimes can be a watcher or a peaceful person. But when we talk about doers, that is where they're very more stronger than in talking, more than thinking, all those kind of things. When you talk about a sanguine, it's more talker than the doing than thinking. I think you understand. If you remember very, very, very clear about Peter, Peter would answer even without thinking sometimes. I remember when he said, Jesus, you're not going to die. And Jesus was like, behind me, Satan. So sometimes he would speak with emotions, but not understanding exactly what was going on. So let's look at pragmatics without taking much time. So what are the strengths of a pragmatic? A pragmatic, we said, is an introvert, is a watcher, is a pessimist. Yeah, introverts are pessimists, then extroverts optimists. Yeah, so they are steady. They are people who are really steady, that they're not taken that much with emotions. Like they really have time to control things that are happening to them. So one is they have low key personality. These people are not moved that much, by things. Easygoing and relaxed is a person who takes things very slow and very easy, is relaxed. Anyone can approach them. They're really approachable, and actually people love talking to them because they are calm and they can talk calmly. I call them, when you come with too much pressure, there's a lot of fire in you. When you reach to a phlegmatic, like everything becomes, there's a way they add some water in the fire. And when you're really, really up there, you come down. Yeah, so they're calm, cool, and collected, patiently well balanced. They're really patient, very patient compared to other temperaments. Consistent life. They have a consistent life. They never change any other temperaments. They don't change that easily. You can go and find that person the same after some years. The same person, cool, quiet. They're reserved people, okay? Sympathetic and kind. They're very, very kind people and very simple. They have sympathy for other people. They keep emotions hidden. Their emotions cannot easily be seen when you're talking to them. So first of all, remember they're introverts. Things are done inside, and they don't easily show their emotions outside. Uh, all-purpose person, like they know how to do things, like it's very easy for them to connect with every person and everything around them. So let's look at a phlegmatic as a parent makes a good parent. They're so patient with children. They don't punish a lot children. They want to know what is going on and they help their children. Takes time for the children. They really have time for their children. Is not in a hurry. Is not this person who has a lot of plans like outside. So most of the time, if they're not working, they don't go out. They stay home. For those people who love to get married to a man or a woman who is not like, who doesn't want to go out every time, like you want someone to stay with you at home and stay with you, to be there, not having a lot of programs. So the pragmatics are really good examples. Yeah. So another thing is uh, can take the good with the bad. Yeah, they know how to handle the good and the bad the same way. Doesn't get upset easily. No obsession. Like they don't get upset. If things happen, they know how to handle it and it doesn't affect that much. So let's look at a choleric at work. What is the strength of a phlegmatic, sorry, at work? They're competent and steady, peaceful and agreeable, has administrative ability, yes, mediates problems, avoids conflict, good under pressure. They're really good under pressure. If you want someone to help you do things, these really they're good. They're good. They understand and they can help you. Yeah, so they find the easy way. They find the easy way. Yeah, so they are not complicated. That's what it means. So a phlegmatic as a friend, their strength, easy to get along with, is someone you can tell, you know what, I need your help into this, and they're there with you. Can you go to town together? They're not going to question you a lot. They will be by your side. Yeah. So, the pleasant and enjoyable, they have dry sense of humor, enjoys watching people, like they really really love watching. They talk little, they don't do a lot of things, but they really love watching what people do. They have many friends. People really become so close to them because they're not judgmental, and they're just watching. They're not talking. They're not among the people who are talking about you. So they're just there, and people go for comfort and support in that area. So um, let's look at the weakness. What are the weakness of a phlegmatic? Fearful and worried. Most of the time they get worried. They're fearful about what may happen. Indecisive. They're really very hard to make decisions. Avoid responsibility, not hardworking. That's what it means. Selfish. Some people think that they look selfish because most of the time they do what is easy for them. So I think that's why they say they're selfish, because whatever they do is to protect themselves. Yeah, too shy, and they're shy people. They don't talk too much. Yeah, another thing is to self-righteous. Yeah, they look as I love someone who said that a phlegmatic, even if it's not a born-again Christian, you may think they are born-again Christian because of how they handle themselves. Yeah. So as a parent, lacks on discipline, like they don't discipline children that much, like they don't really fall like on everything. So doesn't organize the home. Yeah, they are somehow we would say they are lazy. They are, yeah, compared to other temperaments, they look a bit lazy. Not exactly lazy, but they don't really have energy to do things that quickly. There's one friend of ours who we asked why they do things. It's like they want to have the whole picture of how things are going to happen. So that is why they're not in a rush. Yeah, so They take life too easy. At work, their weakness, not goal-oriented. You need to have, like, you're the one to give them what to do. Otherwise, they can't make decisions on their own. Lack self-motivation. They can't motivate themselves. Hard to get moving. Resents being pushed. Lazy and careless people. Discourages others because of that nature of laziness and not being that careful. um, they would rather watch. So the watching is too much. So it's a weakness. So a phlegmatic as a friend, their weakness is not exciting. Like a phlegmatic does not make people excited. It's like um, there's no excitement in them, so there's nothing like exciting other people. Yeah, so stays uninvolved most of the time. If you want the phlegmatic to get involved, you just pull them into that, but don't think that they will by themselves. No. Judging others, they do judge other people, how they make decisions, how they do things. Um, uh, yeah, so resists change. They are really, really the people who do not want change. You will find a home of a phlegmatic, the same things you left 15 years ago, they're still in the house. They don't have any problem. These things will not happen to a melancholic because they love high standard things. It was not going to happen. I talk of, yeah, they love to they love showing off, so changing might be important to them. The doers, they love also new things. They don't, yeah, they love new things. They do. But compared to all of these ones, for sure, it's hard for phlegmatic to change. So who is example of someone who is a phlegmatic in the Bible that I would share with you? If you know, Father Abraham was a phlegmatic. Yeah, so look at him, how he took things so easy. Look at how what happened between what the wife told him, we can have a child with that person. And it was so easy for him because he did not want to make his wife unhappy. Look at him, whatever he would do, he was going to wait for God, like everything God would tell him, and he would do exactly nothing of their own. That's how they are. So they wait until they are given instructions, not thinking of something else. So they are good people. They are good people. They don't want people to be hurt. So they are there to support people. People are very free with them. Yeah. So if you look at this man, he was a great man, but again, he was really, really phlegmatic. Very cool, not pushed that much, doing his things just um, uh, on a low, like they are not pushed. They are really, really peaceful people, and they would rather watch than being too active. I don't know if I've given enough explanation about that, but next time I'll give you details when I'm describing these temperaments uh, in marriage. So God bless you. Thank you for watching. May God bless you all. Amen.